tone shift. Right at that moment I entered the classroom, somebody pounced upon me from behind. Hands covering over, reached out to cover my eyes. Haruka? Or Kurigaya? Fucking Midori. I could feel certain body parts pressed against my back. Pressure was rather subtle, but there was a peculiar softness. Hey. Midori, leave me alone. I'm not interested. Anyway, get off me, Midori. She finally let me go. I gathered myself to return her greeting. God. What? Before I could reply, she danced away and walked up to the other girls. No, that's not it. I told you that's not it. Masato. Nishizono could not be found under the Zelkova tree. We didn't have practice today. Hence those animated cries coming from the school grounds were being produced by some other sports club. Nishizono always read a book all alone, sitting right here beneath the tree. I seated myself at the same spot at which she'd always stayed. In the corner of my eyes, I saw the sunbeams dance between the swaying leaves. I hadn't known this was such a tranquil place. Those shouts of encouragement sounded to be coming from far, far away. This place was part of the school, yet it felt like a different realm altogether. For sure, this was far and away the best place to be enjoying a book. The rainy season was almost upon us. Nevertheless, Nishizono had told me she was going to come out here and read books when it started, even if it meant wearing a raincoat. However, I'd taken her out from this small shadowy yard to the baseball field filled with sunlight. I wondered whether that was something she had genuinely wanted to do. Sitting here alone reading books, I wonder if that alone hadn't been her definition of happiness. And that's why she decided to return to those pleasant days, leaving me behind. Oh my god, you're fucking everywhere. A sudden voice from overhead asked, "Are you in the fucking tree?" The owner of the voice called out, and dropped off a tree branch. Midori? I'd prefer not calling you Mio, but sure. Whatever you want, I guess. She gave a big grin. But the smile was far from one Nishizono would make. Yeah. Her tone was so light it got on my nerves. What in the world did he do to her? This was the first time I got a chance to confront her alone ever since the unusual occurrences started yesterday. Why? She pouted. Yet again, her face had an expression which Nishizono wouldn't make. I don't give a fuck what other people call you. I can't do that. If I were to call this girl Mio, it would mean that I accept that she is Nishizono. And the next moment I'd definitely forget the other Nishizono. I wouldn't be caught dead calling this girl Mio. Midori. I put strong stress on the word. So, is this all your fault? Did you perpetrate this weird situation?
なんか引っかかるな。その言い方だとまるで私が何か悪いことしてるみたいじゃない。私は何もしてないよ。ミオと私、二人の願いが一致しただけのことなんだから。
Which was?
そこんとこ間違えないように。
She thrust her finger at me sharply. What was it she wished for? This situation? Or saying Nishizono wanted this whole bizarre affair to happen? I don't understand. I just don't understand anything.
そうだよね。人生なんて所詮わかんないことだらけだよ。それでもみんな生きてるんだからさ。
Shut up. I can tell how serious she was being. And that fact irritated me even more. Where's Nishizono?
それを知ってどうするの？
Bring her back, of
どう
course.
して？
What for?
西園美代ならここにいるんだよ。クラスの誰もが
Oh
私
my
のこと
god.
を西園美代だって思ってる。
Are you a fucking robot?
おかしいって思ってるのはリキ君一人だけだよ。だったら本当はどっちがおかしいのかわかるよね。
You. Hey, tell me. You're the one that doesn't have a shadow. Who are you?
やっとそれを聞いてくれるんだね。
She gave me a quiet smile in response to my question. What do you mean? I was losing my impetus. Because of her face was a look, which would not have been out of place on Nishizono.
自分が果たして誰なのか、人類永遠の命題と言ってもいい疑問だね。英語で言うとアイデンティティってやつかな。日本語にすれば自我の認識。とてもいい質問だと思うよ。リキ君ってば哲学者。
Don't worry, this actually doesn't have any deeper meaning. It's not what I'm asking.
じゃあ逆に聞くけれど、リキ君はどう思う？この私は誰だと思う？
Nishizono's sister?
でも信じてないでしょ。
She's right, I wouldn't. While I believed it was the most logical answer, I understood in my heart that that wasn't the case. The actual suspicion in my mind was a lot more outrageous. And in all likelihood, the truth.
じゃあ朝と同じ質問をもう一度するね。
You're not real!
さて、私は誰だ？
The smile wouldn't leave her face. I, however, could not reproduce it. You are. I vividly remembered the shape of Nishizono's shadow I'd witnessed under the evening sun. She herself hadn't casted any shadow. Only the outline of her clothes were drawn on the ground. You're the shadow that Nishizono has lost, aren't you? I looked down at Midori's feet. It was very obvious. She didn't cast a shadow either. Looking at it closely, the darkness beneath her was the shadow of her school uniform. That fact hadn't changed either since the day that we had met at the shore.
ピンポーン。で
Bing
も
bong you.
満点じゃないけどね。
Oh god.
80点くらいかな。待ってても正解は教えてあげないよ。私はそんなに親切じゃないからね。
With the benefit of hindsight, there was no question about why Nishizono had always carried her parasol everywhere with her. She had been trying to prevent others from discovering her unnatural shadow. Midori, on the other hand, didn't care to hide it. Knowing that secret, I couldn't help but be concerned about her shadow. Hasn't anyone noticed that you have no shadow?
誰も何も言わないよ。
It's because most people aren't looking. The strangeness of her shadow was evident to me. But why could nobody else see it? Am I really the strange one here?
そんなことないよ。よーく見れば気づく人もいるかもね。でもさ、誰も 人の足元なんてわざわざ見ないでしょ。
It's not something you'd go out of your way to look for. It's like, oh, does this person have a shadow? Oh my god, they don't.
影なんてあるのが当然。誰もそんなこと疑いもしない。服着て靴下履いてればほとんど隠れちゃうし、あとは顔くらいだけだから。あー、でも服脱いだらさすがに分かっちゃうだろうね。裸だと影出ないから。
No,
確
thank
かめ
you.
てみる？
Well...
リキ君ってば可愛いなあ。もう
Sure, go ahead, right now.
で、今はどっちの裸を想像したのかな。
Haruka's?
私？それともミオ？
I didn't imagine anything.
本当に？
Yes. When she asked me like that, how could I not visualize Nishizono
このス
naked?
ケベ。可愛いな。
After a long laugh, she continued in an unexpectedly serious voice.
だいたいミオは気にしすぎたんだよ。他人なんて自分のことをいちいち見てないのにさ。
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people would notice that.
いっつも日傘をさして自分の秘密を知られないようにおどおどしてばっかみたいで、最後には誰からも忘れられちゃうんだからね。
Not nobody.
ほんとしょうがないよね。
Stop insulting her. What on earth do you know about
わ
her?
かるよ。
The look on her face instantly turned cold and
私は
distant.
リッキ君よりもずっと。
Okay, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all.
だって私たちは双子だから。
Oh my god.
体も心もつながっ
What?
たシャムのソーセージなんだから。
How many fucking twins do we have here?
リキ君こそ私たちの何を知ってるっていうの？ミオだって言ったでしょ。安っぽい同情を恋と勘違いしないで。
This feeling of mine of wanting to see her, the one who is allowed to define it, is not her. It is I.
せいぜい悩みなさい。どうせ無駄なんだから。リキ君が好きなのはミオじゃなくてこの私になる。
No, thank you.
最初からそうだったんだってリキ君自身も思うんだよ。結局その程度の気持ちなんだから。
No, none of the things you just said are ever going to happen. The one that I desire to see is Nishizono. I declared firmly to Midori, but also to myself.
本読んでるのか？久しぶりだな。
Masato, reading a manga on his bed, spoke to me as I was sitting at my desk with an open book. Sort of. He seemed to still remember the fact I'd often borrow books from Nishizono to read. So you haven't forgotten about that?
何のことだ？
Never mind. This book right before me was the very culprit to what was going on now. The poetry collection Nishizono had been treasuring. And now the only and most telling clue to her vanishment. I was currently poring over the book with time and care for the first time ever. I couldn't put it in words, but it felt like there was some kind of warmth about the worn-out book. Bird with wings of white. I wonder, is she not sad? Left alone, never touched, but the blue of yonder sky, or the blue of hither sea. Her favorite poem could be found on the very first page of the book. Needless to say, there was also a multitude of other tanka works recorded within. Nishizono had told me that she had memorized them, which still wasn't surprising. But had she meant that literally all of them? I guess that it would have been well within her power to achieve. Wonder where were all those memories of hers had gone? Where those memories had gone? As a kid, I would often imagine what death would be like while lying in bed at night, my thoughts scaring me too much to sleep. Death. Nothingness. Thinking about those things had frightened me intensely. And it had caused me to burst into tears for reasons I did not understand. Where on earth had Nishizono gone? Wasn't being forgotten by the world just the same as being dead? I felt certain no one would understand me even if I were to ask them for help. Because Nishizono did keep coming to school. After flipping several pages, something red caught my eye. It was a single stroke of a highlighter pen drawn over the line of a certain poem. Dead. It was the very first word that had jumped into my eyes as I looked at the poem. I wished this instant when our lips met would never end. The sea's tumult fail. The sun freeze on its journey. The birds high above stopped dead. The use of the word dead had caught me off balance, though I'd realized after reading out the whole thing of it properly that the poem wasn't about death as such.
なんか言ったか
No.
そうか。接吻とか聞こえた気がしたんだが。接吻ってなんだっけ
To speak confidentially. I offhandedly gave him the more obscure meaning.
あっぶねえ。知らないままで赤っ端書くところだったぜ。サンキュー、リキ。
Jesus, buddy. I wish everything would cease right now except this kiss we share. This might well be what the poem was trying to express. It appeared to be a wish for a successful love relationship. As for an eternal instant, naturally the one who had marked the line there must have been Nishizono. It was hard to tell how long ago the mark had been added. Still, one thing was for sure, she had definitely held some sort of motive to draw the line. Probably something particular about the longing for that frozen eternity had resonated with her. I kept turning over the one page after another, as though seeking any slight trace of her. As ever, there was no clue. There was no one else who had realized this incongruity. Other classmates treated Midori as they always had known her. You can't blame them. Because something magical's going on because of this. I wonder what Kud and Haruka, Komari, and Kuragai were doing. Even though all of them were supposed to be present and attending class in the same room every day. Whenever I suddenly thought of them, I couldn't find any of them. Up until just a while earlier, we had spent a great deal of time practicing chatting and laughing together almost every day. But those felt like days long gone by. The more time passed, the fainter the memory of them grew. Most of my past was iffy, enough to be blotted out if I reached out a tentative hand toward it. There's no way I could ever fucking forget Haruka. Come on now. It's like, oh, I forgot how to breathe. What was this scent? What was still intact was only the relationship between us childhood friends. The little busters who had been set ever since we were kids. From the beginning, it had been like this. There might have been only the 5 of us, both in the past and the present, always. The thought that this had changed might have been nothing but my mistake. Was that sort of thing really possible? I opened my cell and scrolled down the address book. Group K, Komari Kamakita. I pressed the button to dial her. It's currently unavailable if you leave a message. I received an automated machine message. God. At the customer's request, Yukiko Kuragaya. Phone you're trying to reach is currently out of service or powered off. Haruka Saigusa. At the present, I wasn't able to reach any of them. Why weren't they answering? Group N. Kyosuke Natsume. Rin Natsume. The Natsume siblings. The name that came after them was Mio Nishizono. Her name was indeed still listed. I nervously pressed the button to call her. The 11-digit number flashed momentarily on the screen as I raised the phone to my ear. A few moments later, a ringtone began playing very close by me. In the next instant, the other side came online. Hey, Midori, how's it going?
Hi, Nishizono desu.
What a fucking surprise. The same voice reached me as from the phone and right behind me. Midori? Turning around, I found Midori standing there.
惜しい。今、西園さんって言いかけたよね。でも、やっぱり私としては、ミオって呼んでほしいから。
And I want my Haruka back. I guess we can't have all the things we want.
悩むところだよね。
What do you want?
ぬぬ。何の用とはご挨拶の。
See, you should have just said you're the one who technically called me first.
電話をかけてきたのはリキ君じゃない。
Okay, fuck off. You're not the one I was expecting to answer me. I swallowed back the words. Why do you have her phone?
だってこれミオのだもの。そして私は西園ミオ。どっかおかしいかな。
I wanted to tell her there was, because I knew Midori was a completely different person from Nishizono. It was something only I knew.
でもみんなは私をミオって呼ぶよ。
She countered as if reading my mind. Why is this happening? I let out the question I had asked over and over again so far. And like the other times, I didn't have any expectations for the answer.
それはもちろんそう望む人がいるからだよ。
Her face looked somewhat sorrowful as she answered. Someone's wishing for it? That someone is you, right? Don't try to make it sound like somebody else's problem.
そんな考えじゃいつまで経っても正解にはたどり着けないよ。たどり着けなきゃリキ君はすぐにでもミオのことを忘れちゃうよ。
Why?
私としてはそっちの方がいいんだけどね。
After a brief wordless pause, she opened her mouth yet again.
ねえ、リキ君は先週の月曜日の夕飯何を食べた？
What? How the fuck am I supposed to remember that? What are you asking that all of a sudden?
いいから教えてよ。
Oh, it's gonna go along the lines that since you don't remember that something as mundane as that, that's too is how Mio's gonna go down, right? Is that gonna be the path you're gonna take on this one? I didn't see the point of her question, yet I assumed she was trying to convey something to me. For dinner last Monday, what was it? My dinner almost every day was what this cafeteria provided. Ramen, gyoza combo, or fried chicken. Pan-fried dumplings that contain ingredients such as meat, shrimp, or vegetables wrapped in a flour dough skin.
たった1週間前のことなのに思い出せないの？
How do you expect to remember Mio after, 8 months? I've got it. It was curry rice. It sure was a popular dish.
本当にそれでいい？
Yes.
ブー。答えは肉じゃがでした。
No, I know for a fact it was this. Nikujaga. Really?
そうだよ。さっき食堂で聞いてきたんだから。
You didn't move. What do you mean you just asked? I guess curry was the day after. I was starting to feel like she might be right. In the end, I could clearly recall Masato coming up with a stupid combination dish, Nico banana at the time.
ね。ほんの1週間
I
前
do
のこ
remember
とで
that, and that was funny.
なかなか覚えてないんだよ。じゃあね、ミオの顔は覚えてる？
She threw another question at me with an impish grin. Of course I do. I could conjure up an image of it without effort. The face of the girl very much like, yet completely different from the girl in front of
で
me.
も細かいところまでは覚えてないんじゃないかな。
Wanna bet? Yeah, I can.
顔は覚えてたとしても、どんな服を着てたとか。
Can we shift this to Haruka, someone that I've actually paid like really, really fine detail towards, so I can actually do this right? But I still probably could get this right. I mean, come on now, I'm not stupid. Easy.
そうだな。じゃあ、ミオはどんなメガネをしていたか覚えてる？
She didn't. Nishizono wore glasses? No way. She didn't wear glasses. She did. I think she did. She lifted her eyebrows in surprise.
覚えてないの？
Yeah, I think she did. It's not about remembering or not. She never wore
かけ
glasses.
てたよ。確かにあんまり目立たなかったから覚えてなくても
Did she?
しょうがないかもしれないけど。
She might have. She gave a
そ
lopsided
っか、
grin.
覚えてないのか。これじゃあリキ君が私のことをミオって呼ぶのも 時間の問題だね。
Again, give me someone I actually paid like a fuck ton of attention to, and I got this on log. Wait a minute. I won't forget. No matter what you say, I never
で
will.
も現にミオがメガネかけてたの忘れてるじゃない。
That's odd. I'd never seen Nishizono with spectacles. Now, one of the images of her popped up in my head included that kind of accessory.
ほんの1週間前の夕飯だって忘れているのに。
Without Midori, I wouldn't have been able to recall that. Dinner and Nishizono aren't the same.
一緒だよ。リキ君の中じゃどうせ忘れちゃうんだったら同じでしょ。
No.
どうしてリキ君の過去って意味じゃ同じだよ。
Who cares about what they ate for dinner a week ago? Don't compare that with Nishizono. She can then counter back by saying, well, since you cared so much about her, you clearly didn't pay attention to her face. Even if, for everyone else, there was no difference between Nishizono and a week-old dinner menu. For me,
リ
I
キ君はミ
still
オのことが
love her.
一度振られたのに。
No, I didn't. I didn't confess my true feelings to her back then. Yeah, she still dumped your ass, okay? You need to accept that part too. So I'm going to have to tell her that in person.